from the Michigan Marching Band. Jennifer Acevedo works for the Michigan Department of Environmental Quality in the Office of Environmental Assistance. She played the sousaphone for the Michigan Marching Band from 1994 to 1998. Jennifer says her love for the Michigan Marching Band started back when she was a little girl, hearing her dad clapping and cheering while Hail to the Victors played on the television after the Michigan Wolverines scored a touchdown. No apathy there. She knew she wanted to be a part of that when she got older. Jennifer is married to another Michigan Marching Band alum. They both hope their two sons will choose wisely when they are ready to move on to college. Jennifer is here today to share 3 life lessons she learned from being in the marching band. Please help me welcome Jennifer Acevedo.
Gentlemen, introducing the 235-member Michigan Marching Band. Band, take the field. Those were the words that I heard every football Saturday morning when I was a sousaphone player for the Michigan Marching Band. Picture this, the steady beat of the drum. 37 pounds of metal wrapped around my body as I'm trying to keep up with the rest of the band members doing our entries onto the field, where you're running, where your leg is practically as high as can be. My heart is beating in anticipation of speeding through that tunnel into the big house full of over 110,000 fans ready to cheer on their Michigan Wolverines and sing the greatest fight song in the land, the Hail to the Victors. If you could see, I have the goosebumps right now, as I always do when I talk about these moments or hear the victors. That was my life in the Michigan Marching Band well over a decade ago now, and it was a wonderful time. I got to go on 4 bowl trips, and this picture right here is from my freshman year, and it's when we went to San Diego, and we did a Block M formation on the USS Kitty Hawk aircraft carrier. It was just an amazing experience. I got to meet amazing people, including my husband, and I learned some life lessons. Madam Toastmaster and fellow Toastmates, today I would like to share with you 3 life lessons I learned from being a member in the Michigan Marching Band. It was in the tuba section where I learned my first lesson of determination. It takes a lot of determination to be one of 4 tuba chicks. I have a button right here. In a rank of 24 tubas, mostly guys who could probably drink anybody in this room under the table. These guys were big and they were strong, meaty, they were smelly, they were dorky, but they were my brothers. It took a lot of determination in 90-degree heat on those August days to keep my feet moving hours and hours after practice. It took a lot of determination to bleed through playing another song while I had braces on my teeth. Brilliant idea, you know? Mouthpiece braces, was not fun. It took a lot of determination to not scream in fright when we were practicing during a thunderstorm, huge chunk of metal, watching lightning bolts flash across the sky. It took a lot of determination to hold my head up high while Ohio State Buckeye fans were showing their classy middle fingers as they were plowing the Michigan Band over to get into the stadium. There were days where my shoulder was so numb that I couldn't feel it. There were days where I needed to take 3 Advil, or what we call tuba candy, because I was so sore. There were days I wanted to smack my fellow tubas for being so sexist. And then there were days where I wanted to scream at the top of my lungs that I was one of the luckiest girls to be achieving my dreams, to be part of such an amazing organization of excellence and pride. Determination, it can get you far. And don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something because you don't fit a certain mold. Don't let anything get in the way of achieving your dreams. second lesson was a difficult and a painful one. Growing up Catholic, I have learned the importance of forgiveness, but sometimes my pride gets in the way. My senior year, I was up for a rank leader position. It's a position of leadership within the organization. Kind of serves as a mouthpiece from the director to the band. There's 400 members, and everybody has to be in the right position for our formations. So usually our ranks averaged about 12 people per rank and have either 1 or 2 leaders. And I was up for rank leader that year. Basically, you get into that position because you're voted in by your peers and the band staff members. And I had, that summer, was experiencing some tingliness in my arms, and so I went to the doctors. They couldn't find anything wrong. But when I returned to Ann Arbor, ready for band boot camp, I told band staff that I was experiencing this, just to let them know in case they saw me drop out or something. Well, the position, even though I received the most votes from my peers, was given to somebody else who wasn't even a band boot rank leader. And I was devastated. I was disappointed and I was destroyed. I didn't know if I should just quit in a rage to prove a point and my life was over, or if I could stay and find it within me to forgive not only the band staff, but that person who took that position. And it wasn't easy, and it took years beyond graduation, but I did forgive. And I did end up staying, and I'm glad I did, because that was the magical season our football team had, where we won the national championship at the Rose Bowl game. You never know what forgiveness can bring you, and what peace it can bring to you, and it can help you shed those negative feelings and bring happiness to you. And obviously I was very happy. You see me right there. I was a very happy person that day. The third lesson is an obvious one to most, but for some it takes something or someone important to you to realize you need to do something. Find ways to pause and enjoy the simple blessings in life of this beautiful world. His name was Matt, and he had fiery red hair. He was probably the nicest person I've known, and definitely the biggest Michigan football fan. He marched in the trumpet section with my husband, George, and even though I wasn't the best of friends with him, I had grown to know and love him like everybody else in the marching band, like he was family. Last fall, we found out he was diagnosed with a rare and aggressive form of testicular cancer. And he kept this blog and had such beautiful words that was such a source of inspiration for me and everybody else in the marching band family that was coping with this. He actually found out about his cancer in 2008, 10 weeks after his son Ethan was born. And from day one, he was set on beating this. One of my favorite entries from this blog is from fall of 2009. Where Matt and his wife took Ethan to Lake Erie Metro Park. And it was a windy day, and Ethan took such joy in the fact that the hair was lifting the wind up off his head while he was chasing the seagulls. Matt was having a bad week, but as he was watching Megan and Ethan, these were the words that came out of his mouth. What a blessing to be able to enjoy moments like that. The world looked so vibrant, the blue of the sky and the lake, the green of the park, the whites of the clouds zooming by in the wind. How many times have I taken all of that for granted? In the middle of this wonderful scene was Ethan, not worried about the challenges of the week, not thinking about what tomorrow may or may not bring, but just totally enthralled in the moment. None of us may be able to stop the world from swirling around us, but we may be able to find ways to pause momentarily and enjoy the simple blessings in this life. When I first decided to join the Michigan Marching Band, I knew I was going to have to work hard and I was going to have fun in achieving my dream. Little did I know I was going to pick up a husband, here we are on our first date, and 400 additional family members. And I had no idea I would learn such life lessons of determination, forgiveness, and living life. Now Now I plan on sharing these lessons with my kids, especially as they prepare to go to college and hopefully to the University of Michigan. My friend Matt passed away in December of 2000, just a couple months after he wrote that beautiful entry in his blog. His funeral was packed with people who were touched by him, so much that they had to open a room probably 4 times bigger than this, which was packed to standing room only with a huge screen. And the funeral concluded with the greatest fight song in the land, the Hail to the Victors, on the organ, which is why